medevac. But what I think he should do, as for now, he should have just take towards not getting out this robotics penalty and maybe take towards High Templars. But you see here that he's wisely going to unpower these two gateways with the medevac gaining high ground. What you call it? Vision. I'm so stupid today. I just lose words here and there. But wow, look, 3 more barracks coming up for our Terran player and a reactor starport producing medevacs non-stop. But he has not much mining going on. Let's take a look at the income tab. We can see that HuK is so far ahead in harvesters. Look at that. But he's managing to keep up in economy because of those mules. But oh, look at this. That is great game sense from Curious, going to intercept those proxy pylons. And HuK even cancel that proxy pylon, which is so great place back here because you will most likely never scout there. But our Terran player Curious has to do something soon because look at his income. He's so far behind HuK, and he's so far behind in harvesters, and HuK can just sit back and hold off this army and face it up front, I think, because he can reinforce so much quicker, and with all the sentries with guardian shields and force fields, he can just split this army in half and just face it up front. And even has any more mixed in, which is really great if he can tank the Marauder shots and just blast away through the Terran buy units. But to see HuK is moving down here and want to get a nice round and a huge FPS loss for me. I think it's these abysses or caverns from this map. So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe they're too cool and too epic for my computer to handle, but I don't know. My computer always seems to lag on this map, even when I'm playing and not casting. So, but HuK's getting out those Colossus. Does he have any Colossus? As for now, no, he has not, but he has a Colossus just now spawning, and the Thermal Lens on the way. Also a Double Forge. I really love the Double Forge, I have to tell you, because you can get your upgrades so quick, and it's always nice to have an upgrade advantage. So if you have nice income, always get that Double Forge, because it will just help you out through the whole game. But we can see HuK is somewhat vulnerable here because he doesn't have too great of a concave when he was attacking those rocks. If Curious would have pushed there, but he did not, so lucky for HuK. Now, I don't think that Curious has spotted that HuK has the Colossus. He just now spotted because he's going to produce some Vikings, because you can see +1 armor and attack is coming up for HuK, and even that observer speed, I think that is. I don't think it's the war person speed, but we can always check. No, it's the observer speed, but that is really rare to get. You most likely never see players get that observer speed, but HuK is somewhat of a fan of this upgrade, because I've seen him getting a lot of times. But you see here, HuK is already grabbing his third. Well, not already, but we're 18 minutes into the game, but he's grabbing his third, while Curious has just got his second up running in with real bad saturation and is almost mined out in his main. And take a look at the income tab. He has so few harvesters, and take a look at the production tab. Yet again, we can see that a Ghost Academy is on the way. That would be interesting, I think and hope. But we can see now that the Temporal Archives is coming on the way for HuK. As I said earlier, he could opt to get out High Templars instead of Colossus to deal with this huge Terran Bioball, because Colossus are so vulnerable to Vikings and even to the Marauders if they stim and run up close. But I think that the High Templars is a wise choice, but he can't afford to produce both Colossus and High Templars, so we'll have to get a nice mix there. Maybe not get too many Colossus, because we can see that Curious is getting out a few Vikings and even some Ghosts for the EMP, but Force Sellers is going to move in there with some micro. They will have to get no shots off on, no slice or hits off on the Terran army, and they surely did not. And if they did, the medevacs can just heal them up we've seen that both Xel'Naga Charge and Psionic Storm is being researched for the Terran army. No, not the Terran army, but the Protoss army. That would have been OP if the Terran could research Psi Storm and Xel'Naga Charge. Imagine a Terran army with that. But a Marauder is going to scout up here and realize there's 2 Prox pylon on his back door. So HuK is going to warp in 3 Xel'Nagas to keep these Marauders from harassing these buildings, because it is crucial that those 2 stay alive. When time goes on, maybe our Terran player forgets about them, but no, he's not. He's going to take them out with full force immediately, and this could tell HuK that his front door is open and vulnerable to attacks, so HuK could potentially just march in here and take out all these units with his Stalkers. But he's just going to sit back and rely on his macro, because remember, he has this 3rd base and it is a high yield, so he's going to be able to reinforce his army so much quicker if these 2 were to battle it out right now. And with those High Templars mixed in, is so much more cost effective than the Terran army, which is really cost effective with all those Marines and Marauders. And even looking to set up a 4th here in just a minute. But now we're going to see if we're having a huge battle here in the middle. But no, our Terran player hesitates, and look at that army. I believe he's maxed out. No, he's at 190, but he has so few SCVs, so that is just a huge army. Just take a look, he has 35 SCVs, so his army is at 155 supply. That is a huge army. We can see that +2 armor and attack is coming up for HuK as a benefit from that double forge. And now we can see that the Terran army is poking in here, and HuK over all his units, and scans going out all over the place, but HuK wisely keeping his Colossus in the back. Just taking out all those Vikings with the Sentries and the Stalkers, and then storming on top all over the Terran players. And we have the Colossus just blasting away at those Marines and Marauders, but he gets a nice concave. But it's so much force fields from HuK. He's so good with his force fields, and but now all his Colossus has gone down, so there's nothing left for the Vikings to shoot, so they're worthless. And but I think this is too much for HuK to handle. I think he has to reinforce this now or he's going to lose, but those High Templars are so cost effective if they can get out a nice storm or 2. You can see if he's getting out a nice storm, but no, he's attack commanding, so that leaves that High Templar real vulnerable to the Terran units. But HuK did, as I said, reinforce this real nice, and he's probably going to hold this off, but it's not over yet. And HuK may be in a lot of trouble here, I think, because his Colossus went down and he also almost has no units, and those storms did a great amount of damage. But with all these medivacs healing, it's just so hard for HuK to kill these bio units for Curious. So Curious doing a great job here, knocking down HuK's 3rd, and High Templar coming in here, storming and basically doing nothing with all this healing going on. Even Archon coming in here, picking up 1 Marauder, and a bloodthirsty probe getting missed here in the army. But HuK is just now storming again, running in with his Archon, and I think you can take a nice EMP there on the Ghost. No, not EMP, but feedback. But I think you can take friendly fire from those storms. But yet again, HuK's Colossus and High Templar went down, so I don't see how HuK can hold this, because his units cost so much money, and he is going to GG. But I was going to say his units cost so much money, and a Terran player is just producing Marines and Marauders off of a bunch of barracks here. So he was able to reinforce that much quicker, and he was able to have a so large army in the beginning because of that low SCV count. He was lucky that HuK didn't engage him earlier, but nice game from our Terran player, going to turn that battle and this game into his favor and win. So this is it, and I'll see you guys next time.